Hey, good morning, Story Trading VIPs. It's Friday, March 3rd. A little bit of a slower morning, but we do have a few interesting things to talk about. First of all, this market, it's just chop. It's crazy. I don't trade the volatility of markets. I can't. And yesterday, like, it didn't really make sense to me that much. I mean, we knew about the Fed remarks in the afternoon, but seeing TLT down, UUP up, and the market's up is just unusual and usually not a great sign in my book. I trust the bond market more than the stock market, but it was up because of dovish comments by a Fed member. You can see if we're looking at the technicals here, it's just whipsaw, right? You're like above and below key moving averages. Now that 20 DMA on SPY was significant, right? When we did break below the 20 DMA, it went right to the 200. So that actually worked out well, and it bounced off the 200. So the technicals can work here, but it's still, I'm not good at trading it though. But you can see it does work. So that's a SPY. So you can see if it's going to, maybe it can move up to the 20 DMA, maybe 405. Okay. QQQ, let's see what that looks like. Very similar too. The 20 DMA worked. A little bit of a false break below the 200 DMA, which could have shaken out a lot of people, and now maybe making a move back up towards 300. So it's amazing how in retrospect these levels work, but in real time, as you're trading them, when you're touching these key levels, very hard to trade. Not something I'm good at, because these support levels are also breakdown levels. So for me, as a I don't even do that. That's why I'm a story trader and not a technical trader. Okay. Let's see what else. Bitcoin down dramatically. So this is not. Usually we look at the correlations between the UP, RK, and Bitcoin to see if the appetite for risk, right? Usually if UP is down, you'll see RK and Bitcoin up. Sometimes Bitcoin will go up ahead of other risk assets. So that's why I monitor it. Now, Bitcoin is down dramatically, but there's a different reason for it, a specific reason related to Silvergate. So this is not something I'm going to read into to say, oh, RK is going to crash later today. Very often that is the case. If Bitcoin is down first, then you get RK and risk assets going down. But in this case, there's an issue with Silvergate associated with the crypto ecosystem, and basically they had a run on the bank after FTX blew up, and now they're saying they can't file their SEC filing time, their quarterly filing in time, because they're assessing the damage. So people worried about this bank going under and decreasing liquidity in the crypto space, and that's why you're seeing Bitcoin crashing. So I don't trade Bitcoin. I don't do China. All right. So any case, just wanted to keep you up to date on that. Now going up to specific stocks. All right. AI. So this had a big earnings beat, but I couldn't do those earnings plays that we did so well on, these rapid re-rating plays, because of market efficiency. I couldn't do that here because they're not profitable yet. So if they're not profitable yet, I can't really calculate a PE ratio. I guess you could do it on the revenue, and I actually didn't even try looking at that. But even the revenue, no, I did. I remember I looked at it because yesterday I looked at the revenue beat. It says sees Q4 revenue is 70 to 72 million versus 70 million. And I did the math on that. I'm like, that's just like a 3% beat. And I went and looked at the stock, and I was about to pull up the price. I said, okay, I bet you AI is up 4% or something. And it was up like 15%. So I'm not going to give any kind of recommendation on this. It's over the 20 DMA. You can see, your ultimate resistance there is up at the 52-week high, 30 plus. I'm not playing it. I'm still in some YEXT though. And the XT right here at 820. Is that the 52-week high? It's on the 52-week high right now. $8.20 is your 52-week high on YEXT. This is also an AI ChatGPT play. You could get a sympathy move out of YEXT today. And not only that, they have earnings after the close on Monday. In addition to after the close on Monday earnings, they have an investor day April 4th. And the stock really started moving when they put that press release out. But then they also put a ChatGPT type related thing out on March 2nd. So a lot of things going on here, a lot of catalysts in a very hot sector. The stock is taken off with the RSI still having room. You can see it's at 70, but last time on its run, it went to 80. So I think there's more room here. 820. Listen, earlier this week, I'm like, I don't think it's going to break out at 820 before earnings. But now with the AI earnings that came out, I think that's a very distinct possibility. You have to say it's a possibility now with the stock at 820. But at this point, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility for YEXT to make a move towards 9. Let's call it whole number, $0.50 resistance levels, 850, and then 9 today and into Monday ahead of earnings on Monday. So that's something I'm still in options. I don't have any common shares. I'm still in options from a few it because I lost the time frame, but I'm close. I'm close to breaking even on those. So hopefully today we do break out to 850 plus and I can make some money. I don't want to be in this into the earnings report. Definitely want to be out by end of day Monday. All right. What else we got on our plate? LLAP support's going to be it's at $2.15. Where is that? Now I can't see it clearly. It was where's my $2? Oh, it's up here. Okay. $2.15 is your support. RSI still relatively high. And also you have your 20 DMA right around there, 215 to 220. So I think that's still in play to the downside, 215 to 220, still in play to the downside. But we've been doing a lot of due diligence on this. And I think this deal with Rabizadeh is very much the real thing. We did our event with Julian, with Sanjay. We figured out a lot of stuff. I think we have a good handle on what the risks are and what can cause the stock to go up. I'm not going to reveal all the beans out here. If you want the details, you can join VIP at storytrading.com/app. But there is a lot of stuff we're monitoring, and there's definitely a possibility it's going to break above that 200 DMA 325 in time. A few things may have to happen. A few catalysts may have to happen for that to happen, but we are monitoring it closely, and I have a good idea that those things will happen, but we'll have to wait and see. All right. Sorry, I got to talk vaguely about that. So DermTech had earnings yesterday. I didn't like the report at all. I had some trading shares. Thankfully, I was able to exit at like 420 in after hours last night on the trading shares. Took a loss. I still have some IRA shares. I'm not sure why. I should probably dump those. I mean, this thing didn't like the report. They're still, they have to, they need to prove it. They need to prove it. They're not. The revenue is growing very slowly. In fact, the revenue dropped, and now they're forecasting a mid-single-digit sequential growth from Q4 to Q1. It's just not enough. This is not inflecting yet. This is not the exact sciences story yet. It can be, which is why we're monitoring it. One day they could have that inflection, and this can become a $200 stock, but it's not there yet. All right, so I'm going to be taking that off my priority list, but we'll continue watching it. Okay, AIR, impressive comeback after GNRC CEO put the press release out defending themselves after the Tesla statement of 75% less silicon carbide. Listen, the comeback is very impressive, but as far as for me, I'm a 4-pillar trader, investor, story trading. Sentiment matters to me, and I think when you look at the fundamentals of AIR, it's extremely overvalued. But I don't care about fundamental value. I care about market value. So I'm willing to hold a stock that is fundamentally overvalued if the sentiment's also very high. And in this case, after Elon Musk coming out and saying what he said, even though technically what GNRC may be saying is correct, right, about the numbers and the revenue and the volume and all that, basically net not being impacted by 70% reduction only in Model 2. Even if that's correct, I think the sentiment, Elon Musk and Tesla has planted a seed of doubt in investors' minds that, AIR doesn't hold, control to their own destiny, right? That what if there are other technological advances by Tesla? I mean, Tesla has been on the forefront of technological advances, right? So what if they come up with some other way that doesn't require any silicon carbide at some point in the future? In fact, they said we don't need any rare earth minerals. You can see what happened to MP, and MP didn't even recover. So where is MP? Like AIR was 75% drop. MP is like, we don't need any rare earth minerals, and this one didn't have as impressive of a comeback. So you don't know what kind of technological developments Tesla's going to make. And so I think you have to kiss goodbye to the sentiment premium in AIR, at least for me. And I could be wrong, but I got to follow my process, right? As a story trader, everyone has to have a process, and this is my process. My process includes sentiment in my decision to hold something or not. So I just don't think the sentiment is going to be there to support extremely high valuations anymore. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I'm going to continue monitoring this. We're going to try to bring GNRC back on to our show to talk about it further. There is still major optionality upside in silicon photonics, but that's completely speculative. If the silicon photonics comes through, even if silicon carbide goes to zero, this could still be a $50 stock just on the basis of silicon photonics alone. Okay, so there's still a lot of potential here, but it's speculative potential, and the sentiment, I'm predicting the sentiment will reduce multiples. But so far, impressive comeback. And at least in the very near term, actually, I was right in the very, very near term. Oh my gosh, this thing dumped to 23.50 right at the open. I wasn't quick enough buying the puts. Those puts like tripled in a matter of like 10 minutes right at the open. And I wanted those puts. I didn't get them. I ended up buying puts later in the day, and I lost on that trade. Impressive comeback. Anyway, that's what it is. I got to follow the process here at AIR. Tesla, 190 was key support. And what a fake out, man, for people looking at the 90 support. And I did tell you yesterday, if you go below 190 support, maybe this is next at 165 at the 50 DMA, and maybe it is next. Maybe it does get to 165, but in the meantime, it's faked a lot of people out. 195 now moving back towards the 20 DMA at 200. So I don't know what to tell you on this. I don't have a crystal ball today for Tesla, but definitely a little tricky fake out. Last couple of days have been tricky. You didn't get the event anticipation run on the day before the event. You did get the expected dump, though, after the event. So Tesla's been a little bit tricky to trade these last few days and don't have a good idea of where it goes in the immediate future. But I still think you got to watch that 190 level. Maybe what you got to watch is they close below 190, right? Because it was intraday. These are daily candles. So if you close below 190, that's when you can really say, hey, 160 is in play on Tesla. Celsius is just here. I just want to let you know, I still haven't, we got this wrong in the morning because I didn't listen to the conference call. There must have been, with certainty, I can tell you, because based on the press release that came out and how they did in Q4, you can see it was a miss, right? And there's nothing in the press release, which I read, about guidance. So the fact that this rebounded and went to $95, I can tell you with certainty on the conference call, there was guidance for 2023, which either matched the current analyst estimates or beat it. And unfortunately, that wasn't in a press release. You had to take the time to listen to the conference call or read the transcript to find out what's going on. I still have not done that, but just wanted to give you the update on that, on why this we got this wrong early in the morning and why it turned around. Okay. At Celsius, DRIO, I want to let you know there's a fireside chat on Monday, earnings on Thursday. So keep an eye on those events. Lots of resistance levels. We'll have to see. Hopefully they'll give us a lot of good news and we can start fighting with those resistance levels. We'll wait and see. LAZR. Okay. LAZR is having a great morning. I don't see any specific catalyst, but this is a significant development here. Looking at the chart, opening above all these high of days of the last couple of days. That's pretty significant. And you got to say this 950 is in play. Now, remember, I hold some of this in my IRA after we discovered it here. So took the quick trade, but held some after that. Now, remember, there is a 30% short position in this. And previously, we talked about our targets. The first one being 930, actually. The first one was 930. So the first target was 930, which it met. Went all the way to 950. Actually, intraday, I called 950. Do you remember that? I sold some shares at 947. That was fun. So basically, we did call the 950 peak. So now that's a target again, 950. Then you have 10 would be your next target. And all of these are possible if some volume comes in. Could even happen today. I don't feel strongly about it because we don't have a new catalyst today. At story trading, I like to have multiple pillars for a trade idea. But this could just be some follow through. A buyer comes in, and then you play with these technicals here. You have to consider the technicals of the 950, then 10, and then all the way up here at 1130. Okay, these are the same targets that we gave you last week, right? But we finished our trade after they came out with earnings that was below consensus for 2023. We closed out that trade at that time, still holding the longer term shares because I think the news with Mercedes is marks a fundamental inflection point. So I want to be in that stock over the 200 DMA. But all of those targets I gave you are definitely all very possible, especially if 950 today breaks on volume, then you can be looking at 10 to 1130. Okay. I don't have tremendous confidence because I'm not a technical trader. Other technical traders may be salivating over this right now, but as a story trader, I need a new catalyst today and I don't have it. But that's I'm going to watch just based on technicals and maybe continuation off all of the recent catalysts. All right, that's LAZR. ANIX, I still like this a lot. We're just going to hold at this point for data mid-April. All right, so that's going to be a lot of fun if they have good breast cancer data, and probably going to sell some on the way up, sell at least half before that binary event. All right, just want to mention some other earnings that are coming up. XXII earnings next Thursday, I believe. AIRG also earnings on next Thursday. Yep, they're both next Thursday. Now, AIRG has an analyst day closely after that, March 15th, which I like. So I own both of those. A little bit concerned about XXII. I've been putting some chats in the XXII room for people. I'm challenging some folks. Even though I have a big position, I'm like, what is going on here? I'm not seeing the traction I'm expecting on some channel checks I was looking at. So a little bit worried about XXII. TWLO hit our target. That was a swing trade and hit it in 2 days. Hit the 200 DMA after the big insider buy, after great earnings. So we had the fundamental backdrop of great earnings on February 14th. We had the technical bounce off the 20 DMA. We had the catalyst of the insider buy plus improved sentiment. So that was a easy story trading idea, calling the 2200 DMA. I did take 2 days, though, to react. So that 1 day delay, Yosef often says, hey, market sometimes 1 day behind you, Ben. So you got to have a little patience. So this one did hit the target after 2 days on TWLO, TWLO. And ASUR keeps breaking out. This is unbelievable. Thank you, Chris. I mean, obviously, it was a good report. The price targets by analysts are still much higher here. I think 15, 17, 20, and 23. And now Chris has been telling us this is a Russell 2000 inclusion play. So we were looking for levels up here, 14 plus, after the earnings came out. Took a couple days to develop. Looking at the technicals here, I don't have a great price target for you. This may just start turning into some sort of squeeze because of Russell 2000 inclusion. So instead of putting targets out there, I think like buying the dips is something you can really consider here, or selling put options, something like that. But yeah, just some pullbacks. This looks good. Not really specific numbers here. I can show you 1368, maybe 1440, 1430. Okay. Whatever it is, have some in my IRA, not actively trading it. Generac came out with good news today. Not good news, but analysts came out with a $145 price target, raising it from 137. It is at a key level right now, the 20 DMA. Okay. Now, again, I don't have multiple pillars here, so I don't have strong conviction in issuing a trade idea here. But based on the technicals, this is something to look at. Perhaps it can start making a move back up to 135 if you break above the 20 DMA. Okay, but not for me without a I mean, you do have the catalyst of the price target upgrade, but usually for me, it's not enough. And I'm not sure. That's something to monitor, but I wish I had a little bit more than just one analyst going up like $3 or $4. All right. Okay, that's all I have today. Got a few ideas for you. Nothing with great conviction like what we normally have. I think we've been spoiled by earnings season, which is really fun when you have all those earnings beats. That's always a lot of fun. Let's just quickly take a look at our news feed and see if there's anything we missed between 9 and 9:30 a.m. And wow, across 300 stocks, there's only been 3 items that came out. That's like nothing between 9 and 9:20 a.m. So it's a very slow morning. And we'll see how it goes. We'll continue collaborating in the rooms, and maybe we'll get some conviction on something throughout the day, either based on price action or additional news and nuggets that are shared. Thank you very much for joining us, guys. Today, the post-market wrap will be at 1 p.m., not 4 p.m. as usual. We do them now 1 p.m. on Fridays. So we'll see you then, and then we'll see you next week, bright and early, 9 a.m. And Vegas will be joining us on Monday. From now on, she'll be with us once a week on Mondays. I'm going to see if I can get her on Fridays too, or just only on Friday. Fridays might be better because there's less news on Fridays. But in any case, we will see you guys later. Have a great day.